let's continue the topic and discuss the surface area related to combination of solids. So far previously we discussed hemisphere and cylinder. Now let's discuss hemisphere and guess what? Cone. Let's read the question first. A toy is in the form of a cone of radius 3.5 centimeter. Okay, so radius of the cone is given, which is 3.5 centimeter. Surmounted on a hemisphere. Surmounted on a hemisphere which is above it of same radius. So good, so hemisphere also have the same radius as the cone. The total height of the toy is 15.5 centimeter. Total height from this to top to bottom is 15.5 centimeter. Find the total surface area of the toy. So we need to find the total surface area. Let's write the radius first. So that's 3.5 centimeter. Good. And height is what? Height is 15.5. So from top to the bottom, that's 15.5. So 15.5 it is. Now let's say this as well, 3.5. Can I get the height of the cone? Why have I written this 3.5? Because up to this it is 3.5, and if I subtract 3.5, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the height of the cone. So height of this cone, right? Let's get the height of the cone, which is what? 15.5 minus 3.5. So let's do 15.5 minus 3.5. So 0 here, 5 minus 3 is 2, and 12.0. So 12 centimeter. Good. So we need to find what? Surface area. Simple. So let's start with the hemisphere. So let's give title hemisphere. Hemisphere. For that we need what? Radius only, right? So it's simple, given straightforward that it is 3.5 centimeter. So 3.5 centimeter it is. Then we need to find surface area. So let's find surface area. It is similar to the previous case, hemisphere, right? Total surface area of the sphere, which is 4 pi r square, and we are talking about half of it. So divide by 2, right? So same we will do here as well. 4 pi r square divide by 2. Why divide by 2? Because we are talking about hemisphere, half sphere. So area will be half as well. So here 1 and 2, so that's 2 pi r square. So 2 as it is, pi 22 by 7 into r square. R is what? 3.5. This 3.5, can I write 35 over 10? The reason behind I did it, because I can cancel with 7 and 35, right? So 35 over 10 multiply by 35 over 10. So 7 1s are 5s are 5 1s are 5 2s are 2 1s are 2 2s are. Let's do further. 2 11s are 2 5s are 5 1s are 5 7s are. Okay, so almost everything is gone. Let's check in numerator. Here 11 into 7 will give you 77 centimeter square. Done. That's the surface area of hemisphere with radius 3.5 centimeter. Done. So that was the calculation for the hemisphere. Now let's start for the cone. So let's give title cone. So to find the surface area of the cone, we have formula, right? Remember, we are not talking about the TSA. We only want to talk about the outer surface area. We don't want to talk about the base, which is in the form of circle. We are not going to consider this circle over there, right? We are only going to consider the CSA, which is pi r L. So let's write surface area is equal to pi r L. So do we have value of r? Yes, 3.5 centimeters. Straightforward, it is given. R is equal to 3.5 centimeter. What about the L? We don't have L, but we have H, right? So I can write H is equal to 12 centimeter. Done. Now we need to get the value of L. I told you there is a formula to get the value of L, which is square root of h square plus r square. So let's use this formula and get the value of L. So L is equal to h square, which is 12 square. So 12 square here and 3.5 square as well. So here it is 12 square is 144 plus 35. Let's say 35. I'm just not talking about the decimal. So let's do here 35 into 35. Yes, that is 5 5s are 25 and 3 4s are 12. So 1225. Right, 1225 it is. And there is a 1 decimal over here. So there should be 2 because we are talking about square. Now let's do the addition. So here 25 as it is after the decimal. 2 and 4 will give you 6, 1 and 4 will give you 5, 1 as it is. Now what about this? Do we know that is it a perfect square or can we find the square root? Remember, whenever you stuck at this point, do the prime factorization, you will get an idea that they are in pair. So I tell you the square root of this, it is right 12.5, 125, right? Why have I written point over here? Because there are 2 decimal places, so square root will have only 1. So that is 12.5 centimeter it is. That's the value of L. Now let's come to the formula, right? We were not having the value of L, so we find the value of L. Afterwards we need to find the surface area. So surface area, let's start. Surface area is equal to pi RL. So let's start that calculation. Pi RL. Pi is 22 by 7. Then R 3.5. Remember, we can still write 35 by 10. So 35 by 10. Here 12.5. So 125 over 10 as well. Let's do cancellation. 1s are 5s are 1s are 2s are 2s are 11s are, right? Can we cancel further? I think yes. Let's do here. Let's do 2s are and 5 2s are and 5 25s are. So 11 into 25, that will give you 275 by 2 centimeter square. If you want to get in terms of decimal, you can still get it because it's okay, both ways it will work out. We'll keep in the form of fraction. Done. So we have the area of hemisphere, which is 77 centimeter square. We have the surface area of the cone, which is 275 divided by 2 centimeter square. As we want the combination, right? We are talking about combination of the solid, so we need to add it. When we join hemisphere and cone, we will get this particular solid shape. So we are going to add the surface area. So let's find total surface area. Total surface area. So let's start with this sphere, which is 77 plus, what about the cone? It is here 275 by 2. Multiply this 2 with this one, so we'll get easily 7 2s are 14, 4 carry over 1. 7 2s are 14 plus 1 15, so 154 plus 275, denominator 2. So let's add 4 and 5 will give you 9, 5 and 7 will give you 12, 2 carry over 1, 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 429 divided by 2 centimeter square. You can get the answer in decimal as well, it's correct. If you keep in the form of fraction, that is also correct. I am just keeping as it is. You go ahead and get the answer in decimal, it's still correct. Let's recall the step. We have 2 solid shapes, which is cone and sphere. So remember, for the sphere we only need radius. It was given already, so I started with the hemisphere only, not sphere, hemisphere. So I started with the hemisphere. So area of sphere divide by 2 because we are talking about half of it, right? So hemisphere, so you get the area of the hemisphere. Then you come to the cone, which is the another shape, cone. Now when we find the surface area of cone, we know the formula pi r L, but we don't have value of L, but we have formula which is L is equal to h square plus r square. Remember here also we don't have h as well, but we find the value of h. Subtract the radius of the hemisphere from the total height, so you get the height of the cone. With the help of h and r, get the value of L, 12.5 centimeter. Remember here how to take the square root, do the prime factorization, you will get an idea. Or you can remember as well, because if it is phi, remember unit digit must be phi as well. Good. Now apply the formula, get the value of the surface area of cone. As we are talking about the combination of shape, we need to combine those shape and we can get this toy. So we are going to add the surface area of hemisphere with surface area of cone. So do the simplification and get the answer.